is Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I am using the April 2019 page maps, that 2x2, 12 by 12 layout at there, and I will add that to the top right hand corner for you guys. I picked up this paper pack at Tuesday morning recently, and I love the colors in this party paper pad from Echo Park. And I wanted, these are photos from my birthday in 2017. We went to Kobe for dinner. We actually go every year because Kobe's just a yummy place to eat. So I loved the pink in this layout, and then the blacks and the teals and just all the colors in it. So this sketch started out somewhat following the sketch, and then it took a very hard, sharp turn. So I think that it still turns out gorgeous, but I'll tell you exactly where it ends up not working for us anymore. So I'm trying to figure out the configuration, and I really liked this big word paper. And so it's, instead of using it on the side in a small chunk, I decided to go ahead and put it on the right hand side in a big chunk. And then I added this stripe paper to the left hand side, and then that pink stars. So I did like 4 layouts this particular day, and I was definitely feeling a girly vibe that day. I did lots of layouts about myself, and I just needed to scrapbook some pink stuff because I've been doing a lot of boy layouts lately, and I needed some pink, bright colors in my layouts. So I actually ended up not backing this pattern paper on anything. I just used the washi to adhere these 2 pieces of paper together on each side. And then I use my border punch in the notebook to cover up the seams between the pattern paper and the pink star paper. And then I have, I think it's called the double lace border punch that I end up using on the right side between the star paper and the teal word paper to cover up those seams. So I'm looking for my T-square ruler, and it's crazy how I feel like my desk is somewhat organized, but that T-square ruler gets lost every single time I scrapbook. So I'm always looking for it. So this is where I'm going to use that double lace border punch to punch out the border for the right side of the layout. So Kobe's is a restaurant, and I'm pretty sure it's a franchise restaurant. Lots of places. We have several of them down here in the Orlando area, and they offer a free birthday dinner. It's like a, buy one, get a second dinner free for the month of your birthday. So we go every year because it's just so very much yummy. And in the pictures, you'll see this huge bowl, because that's the only way to describe it. It is a cup, but it is huge. It's called the Scorpion Bowl, and it is so very yummy. They actually set it on fire when it comes to the table, and it's just a very, very yummy adult drink. So I know that I spend probably what I would spend on my dinner, because I usually end up getting 2 of them because they're so yummy when I'm there. So I'm sure that they get their money's well worth from me in their alcoholic beverages. So it did get cut off, but I did double mount the photos of myself and Kevin on white and then some black cardstock. And then I'm using this happy birthday note, what's that called? Music paper is what I'm going to go with and it's going to span across both pages. And I am really in the feel of that right now, where I'm having a big chunk on one side and a smaller piece on the other. And that piece right there ends up getting covered up, like most of it gets covered up. So you just barely see it on the edge. But for some reason, I am just digging that spanning across the 2 pages. So there's the 2 photos that I'm going to use on the left, and I'm going to use some fun foam on them to give it a little bit of dimension with that music paper and the stars and the stripes. There's a lot going on in that background. So I wanted to give it some lift so it gives it some dimension and separate from the background. And then this is where it takes that hard turn, because none of my photos are in the landscape mode. They're all in portrait. And so I couldn't really get them to line up with the 3 landscape and then the 2 portraits next to it. So I was like, I'm just going to figure out a way that works best for my photos. And I had one photo left with a cupcake and the word Kobe that they bring out, like the Kobe's written in chocolate. And I actually do end up putting that photo back onto the layout and taking out the single photo of myself, because I feel like I captured that in the photo on the left. So this black paper, it has the word thanks written in silver. And I got that in the warehouse box sale from Echo Park. And at first I thought, I'm never going to use this because I don't make cards, and I felt like that was a card thing. But when I put my photos on top of it, you can't even see the letters. It really just looks like black paper with what could be swirls behind it, or, a decorative design behind it, because I'm just using that small border. And so I actually love the way that this came out, and the silver and the black and the way it goes together with my photos. So I go ahead and line all of those up and adhere all of them down. And I do use Fun Foam on that 4x4 photo. I did use the Project Life app to put 4 2x2 photos on a 4x4. So, and those photos are just, those are not the best photos, because they're the photos with the fire, and, taking pictures of fire is not necessarily a easy thing to do with a cell phone camera. So it's the picture of the volcano fire and the rice, and then the drink that's on fire, and then the little Mickey ears with the onions. And if you go to Kobe's, those are very standard things that they do in almost every time that I've gone. They've made those things. And if you don't know what Kobe's is, it's a hibachi place where they cook the food right in front of you. So it's a big, large table, and they cook the food in front of you. So then I added this happy birthday cake, and I'm trying to go back to the sketch and pulling things back into the sketch to kind of help with making it look like the sketch. So this is where I'm adding those 3 flowers in the sketch. So I'm adding these like starbursts in the pink, and then I cut the yellow one in half and added it to similar locations in the sketch. And that one on the far right actually doesn't end up staying there. So now I'm going to put this banner in above the photo of me and Kevin, and I'm going to use some Fun Foam to pop it up to kind of make it level with those photos there, since I added the photos up there on Fun Foam as well. And at this point, I'm still trying to find stuff from the sticker sheet, and I found this camera that I loved, and I actually ended up cutting just a little piece off, thinking that I might use it somewhere else in the layout, which it doesn't, the other little piece doesn't make it, but I put it back on the sticker sheet, and might tuck it in somewhere else on a different layout. And then I pulled out these huge enamel dots that I got from Tuesday Morning. They're Project Life, and I actually ended up using just using heart shapes instead of the circle shapes in the teal and that like mustardy yellow color. So this is where I have this black piece here. It's a sticker, and it says a cupcake is happiness with frosting on top, which is very much true. That cupcake was very yummy from Kobe's. And then I went ahead and pulled out some different embellishments from my book that I have got the idea from RTS Scrapbooking. So I moved that yellow starburst down a little bit. I have that circle that says make a wish, because it's right next to me with my cupcake. I'm about to blow out my candles. And then I add this little word. It's a gold word phrase that says love over the cake, and oh happy day on the photo. And then I use this pink and black tag piece I'm going to journal on that. So I end up adding that to the bottom of the Kobe cupcake picture, and then I will end up actually moving down that Make-A-Wish, the black heart that's tucked in there, as well as the yellow starburst. So that starburst gets moved around a couple times in trying to make sure that it gets in the right place. But I wanted all of those embellishments to touch each other, so that's why I needed to move them down just a little bit. And then I have this white flare with a gold heart that I add right underneath the cupcake. And I had this piece that said, "This is my favorite," but it didn't fit anywhere. So I ended up with the date banner piece there, right, and I added that right above the gold or the yellow starburst. And that's it. I'm going to add my journaling, my date and my journaling, and that is the end of this layout. I love the way it came out. It's definitely very different from my layouts that I've done recently. Lots of pinks and lots of girlies, which I don't get to do very often. So here are my finished layout as well as a few detailed shots. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's all I do on this channel. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a scrappy day.